guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, as you haven't read from the title, I will be talking about my story, so you guys get to know me a little bit more. I'm naturally not like this. Like I'm naturally a reserved person, but I feel like as a coach slash trainer, I feel like it's always great for people to know your background, how you led up to this point, who you were versus who you are now. So let's get into it. Okay, so to start off, growing up, I was a skinny fat. So I ate a lot of junk food. I love, that's like basically anything I ate. I hated water. So I just drank soda every day, and that led to me being sick all the time and going to the emergency room because I was so constipated. Like, it was so bad. It's crazy to think where I was then to where I am now. I care so much about my health now, but yeah, I was constipated to the point where they had to TMI for some of you guys who are not really who like to sugarcoat things. You know when they stick that fluid up your ass and like to make you shit? That's what they had to do. And I went to the emergency room, like, I can't even remember how many times, but I just remember like my parents like always getting mad at me, but also taking care of me, like taking me to the emergency room because I would never listen. I would always eat junk food. My favorite soda was the cream soda. I think that's what it was. I'll like insert some pictures, but it was really bad. It was really bad. I also did track at a very young age. That was the first sport that I did. And again, I wasn't really aware of like the process of how to be healthy and stuff like that. So I just ate whatever, I did whatever. I was just really unaware, and I didn't care. So, I also played cross country and wrestling. So I did 3 sports. I did volleyball, but I wouldn't really count that just because I wasn't really into it. I'm more into the sports where it's just like you are in control of like the game. So like I did sports like track, cross country. So even though it's like you're still in a team, it's dependent on you. So I wasn't really necessarily like a team sport. It was all in my control. And quick fact, I'm not really coordinated, so I did not do well in like anything other than myself. Like if it had to do with like a ball or anything else, like for instance like soccer, I can't do it. Like it just doesn't come naturally to me. But I can run. I have no problem running. But I did those 3 sports growing up. I only did cross country for my freshman and sophomore year. And then I continued for all 4 years. I stuck with track, and then for 3 years I did wrestling, just because I felt like with cross country it was a bit too much for me. I liked it, but I was a short distance person, and so I just let cross country go. It was a lot doing 3 sports at the same time. And it wasn't until my sophomore year when I was really aware of like my health, and I actually started looking into it. And that's the year that I also joined wrestling, which was way out of my comfort zone, but I'm so glad I did it because I feel like it really gave me that foundation of just having that perseverance and that grit, to keep going no matter how hard things get or what happens in your life. So why did I join? So let's start off with track, since that was the first sport. So I don't know, like for me, I know that there's a lot of people that hate running, like my sister. Like they just dread it, they hate it, but like I don't know, I really liked it. Even though it sucked in the moment training, I don't know, I really love the idea of like running super fast, getting a faster time, like just feeling like crap. Like I embrace that. I don't know, like some people think I'm weird, or they just call me crazy for like liking that type of training. But I've always liked it, and it was simple to me. I'm not gonna say it was easy, but it was simple. You're just running. And I know like a lot of people will get offended by me just saying that, but like the concept is simple. Like it's not complicated. It's not like you have to like work with anything else but yourself. You know what I mean? But I just got into it. I don't know. Like I've always wanted to be physically active, and I've always been that way. And track just happened to be the first sport that I was in. And I did the 400, 200, and 100. But I stuck to the 400 and the 200. Those are my two main events. And cross country, okay, so I started that my freshman year. And it was actually like, I don't know why I did it. I would regret it during, because like every race was 3 miles, and I think I did it to stay in shape, because like to me, like it's within school, so like it fit in, and it's not like I had to go out of my way, and like I liked being involved. That's my way of being involved, is joining a sport, and I really didn't mind it. Cross country, yeah, that's how I got into it. Yeah, it honestly motivated me to go to school, because school is just so boring and such a drag. Yeah, like it really motivated me to stay on top of my grades and stuff like that, to be honest. And then wrestling, so I was running already since I was little, right? So I wanted to try something different. And deep down, I've always wanted to do a combat sport, like whether that was MMA, jiu-jitsu, whatever, something with grappling, and I didn't have the courage to do it until my sophomore year. And it was the best thing ever, because I was scared. It's something I never done before. And with wrestling, you put your foot on the line, right? You and your opponent, right? And it's the craziest thing. I can remember my first match, like it was just yesterday, and it's really a mind game, right? Because one thing I love about wrestling, it's not about how strong you are, or like how you look. It's about whether you believe you can, and that is the person that will win the match, no matter how strong you are, whatever. I mean, if you believe in yourself and you have the agility, strength, the speed, that's great. That's a bonus. It's a plus. But one thing I love is that like I've seen like people who, because you wrestle in the same weight class, for those of you who don't know what wrestling is. You have like a 145-pound guy that's super muscular, right? And then you have a 145-pound guy that's like all meat, like they're not like really defined, but they're the same weight class, right? And believe it or not, like the guy that looks so strong and everything like that, he lost to the guy that believed that he could, had the grit, had the will to keep going, and stuff like that. So that's, it really teaches you to be mentally strong, and that really carried over into my life, whatever I did. You just have to persevere. You have to believe in yourself, and you can do anything. You can win that match, you can get that job, you can nail that speech, whatever it is that you have problem with, or you struggle with, as long as you believe and you work at it, you will achieve it. You will get there. So yes, wrestling was, I'm so glad I did, even though I felt like I wasn't ready. I remember my first practice, man, and it's so good to reflect every now and then, because you don't want to lose sight of like who you've become. You always want to catch yourself. It's so true when they say you're your worst critic, and you have to be your own cheerleader a lot of the times, because no one's gonna make it happen but you. So just talking about this right now and reflecting, it makes me realize, like, you know, I have come a long way, even though I'm not necessarily where I want to be. And so back to what I was saying, I like to ramble off. I remember I was so scared to just do the drills. Like, I have never like rolled in my life. I have never did a cartwheel, or like, you had to do like these drills before we actually went into practice. It's like a warm-up, right? And we would do these rolls, these cartwheels, these different movements up and down the mat, or across the mat, whatever you want to call it. And I was so afraid, guys. Like, some of you may think this is funny, or like, oh, that's minor, like, you know, she's overreacting, but like, it's those little fears that you get over, and only you know that. And I can't believe I was so afraid to even flip or to roll, because you have to get used to getting in those situations, because wrestling is a grueling sport. Like, you're out there for war. Like, it's either you or that other person that wants to win. So you have to be comfortable in those different movements, I guess. But yeah, like, I was so afraid. Like, it was so embarrassing, like, at first, because I was like the only person that was afraid to roll forward. And then to top it off, there's another type of roll where it's called a Superman, where you had to jump like this and then roll. And then I'm like, dang, like, what else are they gonna throw at me? Like, I'm still trying to get the regular roll down. So yeah, like, and then just as I kept showing up, even if I was like still nervous every day for practice, like, as I kept showing up, it eventually subsided. I wasn't as scared, and I was able to do it better and better every time. So that's just like a little part of that wrestling journey of mine, just facing those fears every day and not letting it weigh you down. It was a really hard time for me, because when you put yourself out of your comfort zone, it is so true, you will grow, even if you feel like crap every day, because you don't have it. You're just, some people just have it. Let's just put it this way. Some people just have it. They're not afraid. They're just naturally good at it. But for me, I feel like I wasn't born with talent. I always had to work so hard towards it. And same goes with running. Like, I wasn't naturally, like, to me, I don't think I was naturally fast. I really had to work on it. I feel like I didn't reach my peak until my junior or senior year. And I've been doing track for a while. I of course took a break while growing up. Like, I didn't really like fully get into it until like my high school years. So that's that. Okay, what else? And of course I have my notes, because this is a lot, and I've always had trouble saying things in the way I want to say them, which is so annoying. And okay, so let's fast forward to today. So that was a little background story. of my fitness journey, or like my health journey, as we could say. So today I don't just do sports and go home and do homework and stuff like that. I work, or I just got a job recently just because I had to be out of work in order to take care of my mom. We found out like 2-3 months ago that she was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And so that took a big toll on the family, and we found out in California. So we've been here since December, so we've been here for like December, January, February, March, wow, so like 9-10 months already. And we moved from Hawaii. So I was working as a personal trainer since February when we got to California. And then it wasn't until I believe September, in the middle of September, when I made the decision to take a break from work for a while and then just be there for my mom and help her, because she took really good care of me. And you know, I mean, why not? This is what's happening now, and I'm learning to not look too far ahead and to focus on, you know, the now. So I made that decision, which is why I currently just got a new job. My first day is tomorrow, and as a coach, so I'll be teaching group classes through a mic, which is crazy because I've always been the type of person growing up where I was afraid to even raise my hand and speak. Like, I would always hold my tongue. I would never raise my hand as much as I wanted to. It was the hardest thing for me. And so when I had my interview for the job that I got hired for now, I had to lead a class for at least like 5 to 10 minutes, and I had to speak through a microphone, and I did it, surprisingly. And this is not my first rodeo. I've applied and got an interview for multiple jobs like this, but I really I broke down mentally and I didn't do well, which is why I didn't get hired for those other jobs. But you know, I kept going, I kept persevering, and the more that I did it, the more that I got comfortable. And so with this job, what made this job different was I just told myself, I was like, you know what, you know your shit. You know what you're talking about. Just own it, believe it, and do it, right? And so after I told myself that, I surprised myself. And so just like I said, reflecting, looking back on who I was then to who I am now, I'm like surprising myself. And what's funny is that people don't really know that. They just see the now. And that's the thing with a lot of like Olympic athletes. Like, people think that they were naturally like born like that. Like, but then they don't know your journey. They don't they only see like you winning now, but then they didn't see all those like setbacks, those failures that led up to that point. So yeah, like it's crazy to see me like this open and this confident. Not to toot my own horn, but like I'm really proud that like, you know, I was able to do that in front of like 40 people, because like you're who they look up to. So you have to go out there and be confident, or at least act confident, so that they know they're okay. Like, you are the one that sets the energy. So yeah, I got hired for that. Tomorrow is my first day, and I'm super excited because every company or job you work for is different. Their structure is different. So the difference with this job is that they focus more on nutrition and then training second, which is, as if you guys do follow me on social media, Instagram, that is my that is in my bio, because I really love what they stand for, what they project. It's totally different from my job that I had as a personal trainer in a gym setting. But yeah, I really love how they really focus, and they help you through everything. Like, you know what you're supposed to do. Every week they have a nutrition plan for you, and what else? Then they do hybrid, so they do online coaching as well, which is why I also chose this job, because I live super far. So that's great that I won't be able to, that I don't always have to go in for work. And yeah, so, and I'm going to school still, but it's online just because of the situation, my mom being sick and me being the caregiver. So I'm going to school. I have a job, and I take care of my mom during the day, and I still manage to work out, you know, and you can make it happen. You just, if there's a will, there's a way. So there's really no excuses. I know everybody's situation is different, but if you really want something, you're not gonna make up excuses. You're gonna find a way to get it done. So, and I know, like, there's a lot of people that I worked with, like clients who have kids, and you know, it's hard, but like if you come to a professional or to trainer, coach, whatever you want to call it, and you want to be healthy, their time is very valuable, your time is very valuable. If you're going to come there and make excuses, don't get me wrong, I'm completely understanding, but if you're going to somebody for help and they give you the tools and they keep you accountable in order to be successful, there's no way you can go wrong. It doesn't, and progress isn't always reaching a goal. Like, you know, I feel like people think progress is supposed to be a linear graph. It's supposed to be, you're supposed to be improving all the time. No setbacks, no failures, but it really isn't a linear line. It's gonna be a roller coaster, but going up. You know, you're going to have your days where you're not feeling up to it, and that's okay. And that just means that you have to lower the volume of your training. You have to change things up. Which is why communication, if you guys are thinking about working with somebody, or if you guys are working with a trainer or coach, then communicate everything that you're going through, because there's always a way to work around things. And I know even though I'm not a mother or anything like that, I know that having kids is hard. Or when you have kids, it's hard trying to achieve those goals, but I feel like when you invest in your health, it is such a reward, because without your health, you wouldn't be able to take care of your children or to do what you want to do, or continue doing what you're already doing if you don't take care of your health. So investing into it is something that's really worth it. And I'm gonna use this saying because it's so true. If you can get your nails done, ladies, and guys, if you could groom yourself, if you think about it, nails cost $30, and if you do that every month, that adds up. So if you can do that, you can invest into your health. Plain and simple. I guess the thing I'm trying to get at is, don't go to a professional and say you want to be healthy and then you don't follow through. That's all I'm saying. Don't waste anybody's time. Either you put up or you shut up. That's it. And yeah, that is it for today's video. I know this is super long, but I hope you guys watched it all the way through, and I hope you guys got a chance to know me a little bit more. And yeah, so I'll see you next time. Bye. Thank you.